What's up, guys? Welcome back. Um, you see the title "Arrests Have Been Made" in connection with the Carlo, Carlo, Jesus, Carmelo Anthony case. I call him Carlo. Damn. Arrests have been made. Two women have been arrested. The feds are now involved. You said, "Wait a minute, is Max on that remote stuff again?" You said the remote. What do you? No, 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 no. I'm not on the remote stuff. I could get on that later. I could get on that later. Um, I had to go remote on y'all earlier. I had to go from the mobile command center. I had to go remote. I had to remote view. Yeah, I remote viewed earlier. But I don't think the live is still up. I think I deleted it. Is it still up? Let me see. I think I deleted it, man. The remote viewing. Let me see. I think I deleted by accident. But if you need me to remote view again, I can remote view for you. But idiots don't got arrested. Okay. Idiots don't got arrested. And yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it, guys. I don't see that. Like some of the videos that don't upload properly is just crazy. Let me see something. But what I could say is what's happening right now in the Carmelo Anthony case, I had predicted it was going to happen. You have a lot of hate in this world, and you have a lot of people that were sent. You have a lot. Did you know the very people that came up with the term ADOS is connected to the Democratic Party? I could show you pictures. I could literally show you pictures. I don't think they're up. They be watching me, so I don't want to talk about it because they be like, their representatives be watching me on the low. They do. But I'm not trying to join no like affiliation or anything like that. I'm just doing this on my own. But Carmelo, there's been some arrests made. We're gonna get into that. Two females was arrested for beating up a friend of a vlogger out there at the Carmelo Anthony trial. It was a white woman that got beat up, and they're saying, "Oh my God, what is happening?" and this and that. I'm telling you, like it's like the chickens are coming home to roost, and people don't believe me. Let me tell you something. You remember when Zimmerman? You remember when Zimmerman got acquitted? That didn't sit right with a lot of people. It didn't. That really didn't sit right because um he chased that boy. So that didn't sit right with people. It didn't sit right. And people are losing their patience now. The younger generation, they're getting ready to fight back now. See, this is not my generation. I'm talking about two generations after mine. They're fearless. They getting ready to fight. That's what you're seeing now. They don't mind fighting you. Okay. I'm talking about not my generation, Generation X. And I'm not talking about the millennials. I'm not talking about them either. I'm talking about the Gen Zers and down. Those are the warriors. Those are the ones that's going to fight back now. Those are the ones that's going to stab you in the chest for touching them. And I know a lot of people think I'm joking about this, but I'm not. You're going to start to see a lot more violence. The Gen Zers are targeting the rich areas here in New Jersey and stealing people cars and getting away with it because they found out a way to get away with it. Okay. And there was some Gen Zers that had got locked up, had a whole pill ring they were running in a nice neighborhood. And they were Asian. They would go under the radar. You're seeing a whole different mentality. They saw the history. They saw what happened to Emmett Till. They saw what happened to Eleanor Bumpers. They saw what happened to Yusef Hawkins. They saw what happened to Amadou Diallo. Okay, they saw what happened to Bernard Getz. They saw what happened to the Central Park Five. They saw what happened to Trayvon Martin. They saw what happened in countless of other cases. I'm telling you guys, it's going to come a time where the empire is going to strike back. No, they're not going to change their outcome. They're supporting Carmelo because they like what he did. And the same very people, they're also supporting. I'm telling you, the younger generation, they're also supporting. It's like it's opposite ends of the spectrum. It's the same thing. On the opposite side, let's say the white side, they're supporting Luigi Mangione. They're supporting him. So why not? Why can't people support Carmelo even though he's guilty? It's the same thing. They're supporting Luigi. You having women show up to Luigi's trial saying they love him. So why can't people support Carmelo? It's the same thing. Neither one of it is right. Luigi shot somebody in his back. He's a coward too. He shot that man in his back. But this is how these young people are. They're crazy. But the empire is starting to strike back, though. The empire is starting to strike back. It's happened in other dynasties in the past. They have karma coming their way in this country. This country was founded off slavery. The reason why this country became a superpower and got ahead because they benefited from 400 years of free labor. They have karma coming to them. It happened with JFK. That's karma. They started this on violence, and it's going to end on violence. It's going to end that way. It's one thing that they respect in this country. They respect violence. They respect it. They put this music out. They promoted this bad music. Now the empire is striking back because these kids are going after them now. Look at all these takeovers at these stores, at these high-end stores. They're going in there robbing these people and stuff like that. They don't feel safe and good. I don't really care that they don't feel safe. Yeah, I mentioned Bernard Getz. You're repeating what I'm saying. I just mentioned Bernard Getz and Amadou Diallo. You said most of the stuff is far before why no, it's not. No, they know. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because my little cousins know about it. They know about Amadou Diallo. They know about what happened in the past. They know what happened to Emmett Till. They do know. Don't think these kids don't know. And you know what they're saying? So why don't we just rob them back? Why don't we just do that? And it's the same going for the white young YNs too. You know, you have white YNs too. You know that, right? Luigi Mangione. He's a YN. He shot somebody in the back for no reason. Well, for him it's just. You know what the YNs are saying? That was just. But there's one thing that the YNs the YNs don't realize and they can't do. The YNs can't take time like my generation. When we got sentenced, we did our time. We didn't want to do our time, but they can't take doing time. They can't. That's going to be the fallout. That's going to be the death of the YNs. They can't take jail time because I'm looking at these people get sentenced and how they're reacting. They can't take jail time at all. We were warriors. We're the last of the Mohicans. We're the warriors. That's Generation X. We're the last of it. We're the last of the strong generation. We were mentally strong. These kids are not mentally strong. They're crash out dummies. See, you thought I was bigging them up. No, they're all crash out dummies because you got to think with your head. Some of them are thinking, just like they're robbing the nice areas. Edgewater and New Jersey. They're robbing them, but they know how to get away with it because they have a truck waiting, so they can put the car in the truck, like a tractor trailer waiting, so they can roll the car in there and latch it up. That way, you don't see the car on the road, and they'll blend in because all you see is they because you don't think their friends have CDL license? Of course they do. Okay, you got your CDL, you got your truck. I need your truck real quick. I need you to drive this truck on this. I need you to drive this on your ramp real quick and seal it up so we can get away with it and take the car down to the docks and sell it. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing with these high end cars. That's why these people can't find their cars anymore. They're going to Africa. Yeah, we were the latchkey generation. But we were the hardest, we were the last of the hard generations. We're the last of it. These kids can't these kids if you notice these guys, they're getting skinnier and skinnier. It's almost like they're malnutrition. Like they're producing skinny ass people. I don't understand that. Some of these and they punks. But the chickens are coming home the roof because a lot of them like are supporting Luigi right now. So if people are supporting Luigi, why can't they support Carmelo? Think about it. They both equally as stupid. So stupid support stupid. Yeah, that's just the way it is. Stupid supports stupid. There's no rhyme or reason to it. People are just stupid and hateful. Okay? Never underestimate people hate out here. People hate. Just like for example, let me tell you what happened today. It's the generation under mine. They don't understand. See, let me tell you something real quick. I went and got my car washed, right? And I got the $36 service, which is about right. It's usually when I get my car like okay, look, it was they and look, let me tell you something. It was a $36 service, but they messed up. On the back of the hood of my car, like on the back of my car, there's some black lines there. It looks like the paint is scratched off, but it's not. It's tar. So what do you think they could have done? What do you think they could have done? It wasn't a scratch. It looked like a scratch. It was tar. And when they were wiping it wouldn't come off. But what do you think they were supposed to do? Anybody know? They were supposed to put some elbow grease in it, and it came right off. So let me tell you what I did. So after they finished your car is done, I said, yo, watch this. They was like, what? I said, watch this. You see that? Yeah, it's a scratch. No, it's not. Watch this. I went in my trunk. I got the tar slash bug spray. I sprayed it and it came right off. I said, how come y'all didn't do that? Now y'all not getting a tip. I said, y'all fucked up. I was watching y'all the whole time. Let me tell y'all something real quick. I said, let me tell you something. You always do a quality job because you never know. I said, I had $40 to give you. I'm not giving it to you because you did a piss poor job. He said, oh, I thought it was a scratch. I said, you supposed to check or you supposed to ask me, was it a scratch? And then also I got pissed because right when you know how you take you pull your car up and then you get out and the person will move the car for you. I was like, yeah, I want that $36, whatever it was. He said, yeah, but how about this one? You ever had this one before? I said, I want this one. He said, yeah, but I'm trying to give you a discount. I said, I want this one. I said, we're gonna go back and forth, or I'm gonna take my fucking car back. I said it just like that. I said, listen to me. I said, listen to me. I said I want the $36 one. Don't go back and forth with me. He said, "Oh, I'm just trying to give you a dis." I said, "Don't go back and forth with me." I said, I looked you in your eye. I said, "I want the $36 one." These are how these young people are. He looked like he was in his 30s. That's how they are, though. They don't have no respect for nobody. I'm just telling you this. They don't have no respect. But the thing is, they're weak, though. You can easily check them. They're weak. Those are the ones that are quick to pull out a knife on you or a gun. Okay. I said, "What part of it you don't understand?" I said, "I don't want that car because y'all not doing nothing." He said, "Well, yeah, I'm just trying to do this so you get a." I said, "See, why would I pay $60 for a car wash? Like, why would I do that? Why would I?" But see, the reason why he was trying to upsell so he can make more money because he ain't making enough money. These people don't like to work either. They don't like to work. Listen. We can outwork them. They don't know how to hustle. They don't know how to hustle, dude. You're gonna have to hustle. I'm not spending $60 for no fucking car wash. I just want a car wash. I said, because I can't do it myself because I don't have my supplies here. I have them in Virginia. I don't have my stuff here. I got this thing where all you got to do is put the thing in a bucket and it sprays it, this spray it itself. I don't have my stuff here. Paying those $60. No, it was $65. I'm not paying those $65 and it's about to rain tomorrow. You crazy. I just want the tar off my car. And that's my point with the younger generation. They don't want to work and they're weak. So he's trying to, and he got an attitude with me. They don't have no customer service skills. And the manager came out. I guess he's the owner. He said, "I'm sorry about that." I said, "I need a discount." And he gave me one. And the dude just looked, he said, "That's coming out of his pocket." And the dude just kind of looked. And you know what else he did? I came back and my pen and everything, because I had to come back and get my phone because I don't want them to steal it. My pen and everything was on the ground. I said, "Why my shit on the ground?" He did it on purpose. So I said, "I'm not gonna crash out." Remember, I told you guys, you gotta talk your way out of shit. Cause I could have whooped his ass. I could have tossed his little ass up. He wasn't but a buck 35. I could have tossed his ass up right there and made him pick it up. You know what I'm saying? I would have made, but see, these young people, they don't know how to work, they don't know how to hustle. Okay. They don't know how to hustle. He just mad because he ain't getting no money. He want to upsell. Dude, if I said 5 times I don't want the shit, I don't want it. Show some respect. And then he gonna like get an attitude with me. And I'm sitting here in a paying customer. I could have slapped the shit out of him. But see, the only reason why I won't do that because I got a mother to take care of and I don't want to go to jail. Okay. That's the only reason. But see, that's what I'm telling you. It's a choice whether you want to go crash out or not. It's a choice. Okay. Because he needed this the taste slapped out of him. But I can't do that because I gotta go sit in jail. I gotta go sit in the green monster. So you gotta think about stuff. And then these people wiping down my car and then ain't wipe the tar off. I said, "Y'all ain't wipe the tar off." He said, "Oh, I thought it was." I said, "It's tar. All you gotta do is spray it and wipe it off with a cloth. It comes right off." And so I got a discount. I ended up paying $20 for the whole car wash. And it came with the wax and everything. I paid $20. And it came out of dude's pocket. He was mad as shit. I could see him back there fuming. I said, "He shouldn't have talked to me that way." They don't know how to hustle. They want everything. That's why you see in these takeovers at the stores and they breaking in the stores and stuff because they don't want to work for the high end shit. They want everything now and they don't want to work for it. It's easy to hustle. They always complain, "I don't make no money doing this," because you ain't hustling. You need to stay up here the sun up, the sun down if you need to go get it. That's what I do. I'm always in my car making some money. Okay. If you the money is out there, you just got to go get it. But they can't do that. And they're punks, just like Karmelo. He's a punk. I see not all young people. It depends on how you was raised. Because I know some young people, they're out here getting it. And they're not punks either, because they raised by old school people. But the ones that are not raised by old school people, the ones that's are raised by the millennials, these dudes is punks, yo. These millennials are raising punks because Carmelo parents are millennials. They are. They're millennials. They're not Gen Xers. They're millennials. Anytime you call Charleston White Unc, you're stupid. So of course Carmelo gonna be stupid. His father's stupid. So what, you think he ain't gonna be stupid? The apple don't fall far from the tree. Anytime you don't have the reasoning, right? You don't have the reasoning, and you can't use discernment, and you look at somebody like Charleston White and call him Unc, you're stupid. Period. You're stupid. So what you think is gonna happen to the kid? The kid's stupid. You said Carmelo is no punk. Well, then he should have used his hands that day then. Don't make me put you in timeout because I'm not here to play with you today. I'm here to send a message. I'm not here to play no more. Okay? I'm not here to play with y'all no more. Okay? Somebody need to have this conversation. Listen, hold on a second. You trying to play with me. Hold on one second. I told you I'm not here to play in this message. I'm not here to play today. I'm here to send a message today. I'm here to send a message. You know damn well I gotta put you in timeout. I gotta put you in timeout, yo. I'm gonna put you in timeout for 5 minutes until I finish. So I put you in timeout. You don't call Charles the White Unc. You crazy? You don't show him no respect. He gets no respect. You're supposed to have discernment. That don't mean you gotta disrespect him. That means you just you don't associate with him. But the fact that he reached out to Charles White and called him Unc, you see what Charleston did? He double crossed him. He double crossed him. And let me tell you something, guys. Let me tell you something. You got to show respect out here. It's happening to Floyd Mayweather right now. Floyd Mayweather was the type that didn't have no respect for nobody. I used to see how he used to move. I used to see how he moved. When he was boxing, everything was good because the money was flowing. I believe he disrespected Al Heyman. I believe he did. Let me tell you guys something. Real gangsters, they're the ones that wear suits. It's the gangsters wear suits. I believe he disrespected Al Heyman. You see that audio just came out. Al Heyman said, "We're gonna put that little N word in a box." He said that. We're gonna bury this little MFer. He meant that. It ain't gonna happen now because the audio came out. So if something happened to Floyd, they're gonna come back to Al Heyman. You don't bite the hand that feeds you and you show respect. You gotta show respect out here. Just because the dude is older don't mean he ain't got no pull. He does. He has a lot of influence. Shit, Don King killed somebody before. Did you know that? He killed somebody before, and he did his time. So Carmelo got to do his. Don King killed somebody. He did his time. So Carmelo gonna have to do his. Floyd pissed somebody off on the back end, CC. That's something he got to deal with. That's something he got to deal with. That's something he got to deal with. He pissed somebody off on the back end. I know how deep boxing runs. I know how it is. But the thing is, he gonna have to do his time, yo. We did ours and then cry about it. I know right now if I go out here and crash out, I gotta go to jail. So he should have known that as well. But just knowing how his father is and calling Charleston White Unc and this and that, and how Charleston been carrying apple don't far from the tree. They both stupid. I don't give a damn if he had a 3.7 GPA. That's really not that impressive to me, actually. Mine was higher. You know why it's not that impressive? Because you're supposed to have a high GPA. That's why. That ain't nothing to get kudos about. You're supposed to do well in school, but that doesn't mean you got street smarts, and that don't mean you have common sense. And you can still be stupid. He made a stupid decision and he got to pay for it. What did George Floyd got to what y'all playing with me? Hold on a second. Hold on. What's his name? PK. Uh where the hell? Okay, there you go. You got to get up out of here, dog. I would time you out, but nah, you got to go. Yeah, you got to go. Yeah, you got to go. You got to go. I don't know what the hell George Floyd got doing anything. They ain't got nothing to do with this. Um, yeah, maybe his dad just don't is not that type of guy. Some people just not street, they just not aware. But you gotta have discernment. You of all people, you got Charleston White, dog. You got to be crazy. You gotta be crazy. Because he ain't nobody. Only thing, you know what Charleston White, he only thing he did was go viral. And he's capitalizing off of his him being viral. That's it. He's not funny. I don't think he's funny. So, but they use these people, man. It's like blackface. That's what they use these people for. They're in blackface. You know what I'm saying? They're in blackface. They're talking. They talking. They're in blackface, and I don't like it. They're in blackface, and then people try to judge us by him talking. But he should have left him alone. You see what he did? He went and told all their business. He went and told all their business. That's what you get, Amos and ooh, man, you say Amos and Annie 2026. But so I want to get into this here. I want to hear what y'all have to say about it. I want you guys' opinion. I don't necessarily agree because she got Jason Whitlock on, and they're trying to make it like we're all crashing out. That's what they're trying to make it now. You about to hear it. They're trying to make it that we're all crashing out just because Carmelo. No, we're not. Not all of us agree with this. But they're trying to make it like that now. But it's almost like listen, if we all decide to crash out on them, they're not gonna make it. They're too scared. They're not gonna make it. They would have to bomb us. Like, they already bombed us one time. They bombed us in Tulsa. They already bombed us in Philly with the Move movement. They bombed them. The Move movement in Philadelphia. They bombed them, and they bombed them in Tulsa. So we already got bombed. Step and Fetch It. Step and Fetch It was the highest paid male actor in Hollywood at his time. He was getting paid millions back in the day to do that. And you know what else they did? They approached Sidney Poitier. He said no. So let me say this to you guys. People are supporting Luigi Mangione for shooting somebody in the back. So what? So people are going to support Carmelo. It's the same thing, guys. It's the same thing. People crazy out here, and they feel like what Luigi did was just because the guy was turning people down. Actually, I think he might have what he did was just. I think so. I'm on the low on that one. I think what he did was just, yo, because this dude was turning down people insurance and they were dying over it. You feel me? So I don't care nothing about that man dying. I don't. But I don't agree with somebody just shooting somebody in the back either. I don't agree with that. But it ain't no love lost. You know what I'm saying? If Luigi get off, you said, did Luigi actually do it? That's what everybody's questioning. I don't know. It didn't look like him in the picture, did it? You said I was with it for real. A lot of people are. A lot of people are. That's why a lot of people are with Carmelo. You know why people are with Carmelo? He could have been the fall guy. Did you guys remember that after he did it, there was a viral video came out, this guy that looked just like him, and his mother was freaking out. He was acting like he's gay, but he looked like that looked like the real guy that was in Starbucks. That was him. I was like, they playing in our face, yo. That's him. The one that was joking because he had on the same jacket as Luigi. That's him. He looked like the one. I think it's multiple people that set this up. I think it was multiple people. That guy long gone. You said, although it was wrong, I understand. See, the thing is, a lot of people have people that was affected by the United Healthcare, like blocking claims and stuff like that, and their elderly parents dying. A lot of people have been affected by that. That's why Luigi might low key get off, yo. They might practice jury nullification. If I was on the Luigi jury, see, this is how you know it ain't about race with me. If I was on the Luigi jury, I'll say not guilty. Straight up, not guilty, man. Not guilty, yo. I will hang that jury. Not guilty. Why, Max? Jury nullification, because I don't think the punishment is just. I think what he did was just. I wouldn't say that because I don't have to give a reason why I'm nullifying. I don't. It's perfectly legal to nullify. I would say not guilty, man. And I had to think about this again because usually when I judge cases, I judge it fairly. So to judge it fairly with Carmelo, I said I would give him life. I wouldn't have gave him life. I wouldn't have gave him life. You know why? Because this was his first offense, and I would have showed him favor. Okay. I would have showed him favor and gave him 12 years. I would have gave him 12 because he would be eligible for parole in 6. Or actually, I might give him 10 years. He'll be eligible for parole in 5, which he not going to get 5. So he's looking at 7 because they're going to turn him down the first couple of times. So he's looking at 7 years. That's what I would have gave him. Because I would have looked back at the other cases. Well, shit, Zimmerman got off. So let me get this kid 12. You know what I'm saying? Um, the dude, Daniel Penny, that choked that dude out on the New York subway, he got off. So let me get a dude 10. Actually, I'll think about that case and then give Carmelo 10. I would have gave him 10. Because he got to do some time. You can't put a knife in somebody's chest. He got to do a little time. I would have gave him probably 10. I would agreed on 10. And he would have been eligible for parole in 5. Okay? No, I'm not trolling. I wouldn't have gave him 25 years. I wouldn't have. Because the average on average for his type of situation is 10 years. I don't know if people know that. The average sentence for him for what he did is 10 years. But it's just I would have showed him favor because obviously he should have took a deal. So I would have had to give him the deal. Yeah, the Apple River stabber. Well, how many people he stabbed though? How many people he stabbed? That guy. No, they're not gonna lighten his numbers. They're not gonna lighten his numbers. He got 35. They're not gonna lighten Carmelo numbers. I don't think he's gonna win appeal. I would have given him 35, maybe 10 or 15. Yeah, it depends. It depends on how I'm feeling on that situation. I could have easily given if let me just say this. If the masses are adamant about giving him 35, then I would have went with the 35. But if I can negotiate with that jury, if I'm on the jury, I say, can y'all give him 15 then? And if they all agree with that, then we'll give him 15. You get what I'm saying? I would try to give him at least I would have tried to be reasonable. But if they saying we're gonna be hung up on this, we're all agreeing on 35, then I have to give him 35. But on average, people get about 10, 15, maybe 20. I don't think he gonna win. If he win the appeal, it's gonna be on it's a technical thing. It's a technicality, which means that then he could take a deal. I wouldn't take that back to trial. No, the FBI is not on Carmelo. The new arrest we about getting ready to list, there's some girls that got arrested. They beat up this girl and saying it's retaliation for Carmelo. They paid crash out dummies. I told you that before. We got paid crash out dummies. You said yes, a lot of loopholes. Yeah, in this one. So here's the thing: if they did a major mess up, then yes, it could be reversed by way of technicality. Now he's not going to get like a Bill Cosby action. Bill Cosby, he got his shit thrown out. He got right out of jail immediately. Remember, they went and picked up his SUV limousine and went and picked Bill up, didn't they? They picked Bill up as soon as they got it reversed. They went and picked him up. Bill was gone back in his SUV limo with his Perrier water. No, Don Pellegrino. What was he? Pellegrino water with his Pellegrino water. Yeah, these are the crash outs that we're hearing. So we're gonna hear about that. This is not normal people, but they're crashing out. But they trying to use them to say we're all crashing out, and that's why we're not all crashing out. We're not all doing it. You guys are not going to crash out over this. You might feel a certain type of way though. Like, damn, I don't think he should have got 35. I don't. And some people might say, Max, I don't even think he's guilty, right? So a lot of people feel that way. I'm telling you guys for what I know, a lot of people feel that way. We're really divided in this country, for sure. We're really divided. They're thinking about Zimmerman right now. That's what they're thinking about. Man, you letting all these people get off and we got to do all this time and whoop de whoop. Yeah, but he killed somebody. They don't care. So that's how they do it, man. They crashing out and they beat the girl up real good. You said, how can he not be guilty? No, he talking about getting the case reversed on technicality. It's not that the jury already found him guilty. They're talking about did the lawyers mess up during his case? Did the jury hear something that was highly prejudicial that violated his constitutional rights to a fair trial? It has to be something that error made somewhere for this to get reversed. And the higher courts had the appeals court have to decide on it. Excuse me, the appeal judges have to decide on it if an error was made. That's reversible to get this thing back in court. See, Zimmerman, I believe the jurors, they just felt like they sided with him. That's pretty much it. And he had some good lawyers too. They were so good they got him off. That's how good they were. Now listen to this.
Woman who was allegedly beaten down by a group of suspects chanting "Free Carmelo." Fox is reporting that in Longview, Texas, police have made this arrest in connection with this alleged random attack on a victim by this group of suspects that claim, according to Fox, that they had said, "quote they were going to target the smallest white girl they could find." And they did indeed find a white girl who appears to be severely injured. We've got pictures of her injuries, which I'm going to show you now. We don't have her name. We do know that one woman has been arrested for this assault. Here is the victim whose injuries appear all over her face and head. Her eyebrow is bloody and looks to have a deep gash on it. The top of her head appears to have a deep gash and is quite bloody. There's a picture that they've released of her high heeled shoe, which none of us can quite figure out what we're seeing, but they appear to think it's evidence and has blood on it. We can cycle through the pictures, please. And you can see some of her injuries. She's wearing a neck brace. She's clearly been attacked. This is not neck brace that you. Okay, now we do have her name. The victim's name is Sammy Lee. This is not the kind of neck brace, we had a car accident and we're looking to run up our insurance bills. You can see the blood all over this woman's face and head, and arrests are being made. The first one is of 21-year-old Ciarianne Fuller of Longview. She is facing assault charges and was booked into jail on a $20,000 bond, according to local KYTX. And the locals are reporting at least two other arrests as well in this case. Unbelievable. So we don't have any idea what the race of the perpetrators is, though I'm going to assume it's not necessarily white if they were looking to target, quote, the smallest white girl they could find. But this is in retaliation. The report is that this is in retaliation.
Guys, this is set up. This is set up. The powers that be are setting this up so people can think, oh, they're getting ready to attack all white people. Oh my God, we all need to be nervous. That's why they're doing it. I think people are not falling for this. People are not falling for this BS. Okay, no average person gonna say, hey, guess what, guys? We're gonna target the smallest white girl we could find. Who talks like that? Who talks like that? You said the woman have nothing to do with this. Stop attacking them. Yeah, but who are you talking to? You have to talk to the people that did it, and I bet you they getting paid to do it. It is getting out of hand, Ryan. It is. It's getting out of hand. But no average person is doing it. E, would you go out there and do it? Pac-Man, would you go out there and do it? No. You're not going to go out there and do this. You're not going to say, "Oh, guess what? We got to find the smallest white girl we could find." Who talks like that? Okay? No average person is going to go out there and do that. But see, listen further. And then they got Jason Whitlock on it. Listen to this.
For the Carmelo Anthony conviction. This is insane. Carmelo Anthony attacked and stabbed a young man to death. He happened to be black and the decedent is white. And this wasn't a race case, despite the fact that Carmelo Anthony's family spokesperson tried to make it one. And now this small group of people, although it's growing, like the intellectual class, so-called, is jumping on board of this. Oh, now we have a picture of the perpetrator. Yeah, she does happen to be black. She's there with some crazy hair, blonde tips and dark roots, and I guess was allegedly.
You see what I mean? That person looked like she's paid. She looked like she was paid to do that. Look, it's crazy.
Part of this whole thing, now being held on $20,000 bond. So they're turning this into a race crime. Like what wasn't a race crime is turning into a race crime because there's a collection of people extremely angry about the fact that justice applied to Carmelo Anthony the same as it would to any other person who stabbed another boy in the heart with no reason. Here to join us on this case and more is our friend Jason Whitlock. He is the host of Fearless with Jason Whitlock. This is so infuriating, Jason. The turning of the narrative around Carmelo Anthony has been infuriating from the start. And now it's
Watch, listen to what Jason say though. He's gonna sneak something out that probably surprised Megyn Kelly. She didn't realize what he was about to say. He hit her with a case, and it really happened. These kids went on and killed somebody. And then Johnny Depp and them trying to say no, he didn't. He didn't do it. Watch what he say though. He actually brought up a case. He actually brought up a case on it. She didn't realize he was going to do that. Like they just want to keep it all on us. Like we're out here indiscriminately attacking people. No, You guys on your side, you killed somebody and celebrities got involved and got them people out of jail. Watch this. So I'm surprised he said that. I'm surprised he mentioned that case. Listen to this.
It's culminating in race-based attacks as some sort of vengeance for what? The person who was hurt here was white. It was Austin Metcalf who was the victim here.
The world is upside down, Megan, and we sit here and we're baffled. Like, how did we get here? And it's been a long process, and it takes a lot to understand uh, what is transpiring. But I what Megan, do you remember the West Memphis Three
Listen,
case?
listen to this.
West Memphis,
Yes.
Arkansas. HBO did three
Yes.
documentaries. Three white kids, teenagers, murdered three 8-year-old boys. And these were all white kids. Damian Eccles, 18, 19 years old, Jason Baldwin, and a Jesse Miss Kelly. They did the murders. And the prosecution argued that this was a satanic child sacrifice case. That's what they argued in court, and the jury agreed and convicted these guys. They gave Damian Eccles a life sentence. HBO jumped in, and people like Johnny Depp and Eddie Vedder and other celebrities jumped in and said, no, this is satanic panic, and this little small town in Arkansas has too many Jesus concerns, and these are just kids and misconstrued, and they didn't actually do it. And they, for 18 years, the media and HBO put out 3 different documentaries trying to argue that these kids were innocent. And eventually, they got an Alford plea, and they became celebrities and heroes, and they got sprung from prison. They did the crime. But and the argument was like heavy metal music and reading Stephen King books had influenced these kids into this satanic ritual child sacrifice deal. And Megan, I believe that the same thing is going on with hip hop music and hip hop culture. It has the same influence over young black kids. And
Listen, he's being slick. He just threw Carmelo a bone. Nobody caught it. He just set a precedent case. All Carmelo has to do is use it. He did that. She did not expect Jason to do that. She did not, and nobody, it went over everybody's head. It didn't go over mine. He actually gave him a case because he feels as though the hip hop music influenced Carmelo to do this. And he has an out because he'll eventually get out because all the guy do is use the other case. He did that on purpose. No, and I don't think she caught it because you could see the look on her face. Like, Jason, why are you bringing that case up? He did it for a reason. He's pissed off. He says little things every now and then. It goes over people's heads. I couldn't believe he said that. I could not believe he brought up that case. And Johnny Depp and them got on their side and said, oh, it's the music they're listening to, this and that. And that's why they killed him. But let's see if Johnny Depp get on Carmelo's side. He's not. It's a double standard in this world. And Jason sees it and he said it. Now I bet you Carmelo lawyers take Jason up on what he said and use that case as a precedent to try to get Carmelo sentence reduced or get him out on an Alfred plea. You heard he said it. And he also said he didn't have to go further. He said they took an Alfred plea and got out. He just threw the kid a bone. He sure did, and it went over people's head. I don't know. You said what he puts butter in his water. No, it went over your head. You don't understand what he just did. He just actually gave Carmelo a precedent case that he can use in his case. Damn, it should be going over people's head, huh? But he said it, and you should have saw the look on her face when he was saying it. Y'all not getting what I'm saying. He actually is helping him. Y'all, let me just continue. For fuck it. I'm not gonna continue. God damn, y'all didn't catch that? He just set a precedent case. Y'all didn't catch it? That kid can use that case as precedent to try to get. Thank you. You got it, Gigi. Thank you. That's what he did. And they sitting up here calling him name. He actually helping Carmelo out. Y'all didn't catch it. And Megan caught it because you should have saw her face. She said, Jason, why are you saying you could tell, like, why are you saying this? Yes, his lawyers are probably going to use it. Carmelo was listening to rap music, and even I said the rap music is influencing him. Now they can use it because it was used on another case. So it set precedent. Now his lawyers have to argue why this applies to Carmelo. And he said they took an Alfred plea. He didn't have to say all this to us. He gave us too much information. That didn't go in my head because I know what an Alfred plea is. Let's continue.
It has overtaken Black culture. And so hip hop culture believes that you touch this kid, you put your hands on me, I have a right to kill you or assault you with a weapon of some sort. And they want the rest of American society to bow to their standards. In hip hop, any sort of disrespect can be met with violence. This is why you see so many videos of Black people say, don't you put your hands on me? You put your hands on me. Don't you? And see what happens if you put your hands on me. There's a mindset that has been given to Black culture and Black people that's incompatible with Christian American culture and Christian American standards. And that's how so many people are running around defending Carmelo because they've been brainwashed. You put your hands on him, you pushed him. And in our culture, hip hop culture, we can be violent and kill you. And that's how they've come up with the self-defense case. And they've got idiots like Dominique Alexander that represented the family, the new Al Sharpton. He's a convicted felon. He comes from this
Yeah.
hip
He's a
hop
baby
prison,
beater.
yeah, prison hip hop culture, and he's out.
See, he had to dial it back because he gave too much information. You should they're gonna reprimand him on that. They're gonna reprimand him. He wasn't supposed to say that. And he wasn't supposed to tell us they took an Alfred plea. Because Carmelo can take an Alfred plea right now and get out. He can easily, if he defended, if they say, listen, the music overtook him, you know what I'm saying? And he can take an Alfred plea. Like, I want to take an Alfred plea like they did. It applies to me as well. They're not going to give it to him, but he could try. But he had to dial it back what he said. He wasn't supposed to tell us they took an Alfred plea, but he told us that. And I don't agree with when they say hip hop culture. First of all, a lot of us listen to hip hop, but we don't go out here and stab nobody either. Now, I must admit that hip hop is built on misogyny, violence, drugs, fast money, and women. That's what it's built on. I was listening to a rap the other day. I'm listening to a song by Styles P. He said, "You f with me." He said, "What did he say?" He said, "You f with me. I got my man's is more trifling than Michael Jackson. I have him mess with your kids." He said that. I was like, "Damn." He said, "That's hard." No, it's not. That's crazy. You got a man's that's so more trifling than Michael Jackson. That's like, why would you say that in your rap, yo? I was like, damn, let me skip it. Let me go on to the next one. Um, I'm a murder and murder tonight. Murder. Touch me if you want to, bit. Touch me if you want to. I'm a murder you. Yeah, you got it, but he had to dial back because he gonna get in trouble. Jason gonna get in trouble for this one. He is. He said too much. We weren't supposed to know that. Now everybody gonna research the case now and then try to help Carmelo out. He shouldn't have said that. Because Carmelo can easily claim the same thing. Just like remember the guy that claimed affluenza syndrome? Remember him? Remember the affluenza kid? Said he had that's the first time I ever heard of that. Affluenza syndrome. He's suffering from being too affluent. He grew up being too affluent, and he has such a affluent lifestyle that he's in another reality. His life was pure opulence. Everything was given to him. So he's suffering from affluenza. He's suffering from being too privileged, and he got off on that. So if he is going to get some kind of action in the appeals, it has to be something on technicality. It has to be something technical that they missed in the trial, or they got they. It has to be a huge error, and he has a 2 to 3% chance, guys, or getting action in the appeal. Okay, that's it, 2 to 3%. When I say he has an uphill battle, shit, he will be more successful climbing Mount Everest. Okay, he will be more successful getting to the summit of Mount Everest. That's how uphill battle he has. And you know how hard it is to get to the summit unless you're a sharper. Unless you're a sharper, right, Ryan? What you call them sharpers? Unless you one of those that live in Nepal, unless you Nepalese. Because they can climb Mount Everest with no problem. How do they do that? Is it something in their blood or something? How do they get to Mount Everest with no problem like that? It's balancing the music. But look, everybody can't use it. Look, see, that's like an inside joke too. Everybody not gonna be able to use that. But hey, you can try to use it. You can try. It don't mean he has a 2 to 3% chance of getting relief in the appeals. So Ryan, do you think he gonna get some action in the appeals? We don't know. He got 2 to 3% chance in Texas. Texas is one of the hardest states in the union to get relief in. Y'all know that, right? Texas is called the Lone Star State. Okay. They want to be the Lone Star. They don't want to be a part of the 50 stars on the US flag. They want to be the Lone Star. They don't want to be a part of the 50 states in the union. They want to be the Lone Star State. They want to be their own country. Texas move a little differently, but it's worth the shot. It is. It is. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. You're right. It is worth the shot, even if it's 2 to 3% chance. So yeah, it's worth the shot. He is getting an appeal. You said he ain't getting no appeal. You mean he's not getting no relief in the appeal. He's entitled to an appeal. He's entitled to go to the appeals process. Now you're talking about he not getting no relief. That's probably what you mean. That's probably what you mean.
Promoting this and Megan, you remember when we saw the black kid out in front, the black man out in front of the courthouse dancing and jumping up and down in front of the white guy, and it just looks
Yeah.
crazy. But we're gonna have to
Yes.
accept, like, hey, there is a culture that has gone absolutely nuts and has been influenced by this prison hip hop and just quite frankly this African, because a lot of this, and I'm telling you, it's hard to understand. But I just had a pastor named G. Craig Lewis on my show, and he's been talking about this for 30 years. That black people, American black people, their obsession with Africa and connecting with African cultures, and from the change in their hairstyle to the changing of just their customs and wanting to bring that African culture to America. Well, we have to be honest about Africa and African culture and how violent and how tribal it is. And so we're looking at an American culture that's being influenced by African tribalism, uh, satanic religious cults. Hip hop is right in line with that. If you look at the roots of hip hop and what they brought and what they preached, it's a lot to unpack and understand, but it's very important that we understand what we're dealing with so that when we stand against it, no one can call us racist or coons or sellouts. It's just like, hey, man, we don't want that African culture crap here in America. We don't want religions or beliefs that say, if you touch me, I can kill you. We got to reject that. And I know you've been dealing with the slings and arrows, as have I, but we have to be even more resolved and resolute to like, hey, man, this just can't stand. Everybody's at risk here. I
Mhm.
don't want to live in a society where people can interpret what I say as disrespect and then get all up in my face and try to bait me to touch them or have conflict with them, and then they get to kill me and and paint me as the bad guy.
Right. Exactly right. And now, like, to see it morph into retaliatory attacks, it's like, wait a minute. If we're just going purely by race here, a black person attacked and killed a white person. If there should be retaliation, it would be the other way around. How are now more black people attacking a white girl as justice for this case? And it's because Carmelo was convicted and sentenced to prison. That we're getting more details now as we speak on the other two arrested. We have their mugshots too. It appears to be a group of black women who attacked a white woman. DJ Brown and Alana Mumfree are the names of the other two. We're showing their pictures here. They've voluntarily surrendered now to law enforcement.
You see what they're doing, right? This is deep. What they're trying to do. What they're trying to do right now is deep, bro. I'm telling you guys, the average person, we're not going to go out and attack nobody. So they need to stop doing what they're doing right now. Average person is not going to go out, guys, and attack somebody because we don't care that much. You said that baby hit Tommy with so much force by past the jacket. Let me see. Oh my God. You said that I what did OJ father got to do with this? Yeah, I knew that. Damn, you today's you just found that out. That's hilarious. Yeah, so see, that's what I'm saying. You don't listen to anything without facts. Anything people say, it has to be tied into the case. See what they're doing is what he's doing. They're doing is dangerous. Oh, you just found out? He talking about OJ Simpson, father Chantel. He was a drag. He's in drag. That's true. He was a drag. He was a drag queen. That is true. Um, where did you find that out at? Was it just like some random video you saw, or because a lot of people don't know that that came out back in years ago. It must have been a random something hit your algorithm. That is true though. You're right. Wikipedia. Okay. Yes, you true. You're right. We still TV. How old are you? Damn. You uncovered something that I didn't think a lot of people would know that. Because some stuff get buried in history. But I just want to say this. Everybody, we're not this homogenous group of people. We all don't think the same. We're not this monolithic group, but we don't think the same. some people have very well cultured and well traveled people. Some people we don't have that small way of thinking where just because you look a certain way, we're just gonna take you out if you disrespect me. Okay. What was I gonna do to the kid today when he kept insisting on I paid a certain amount for a car wash? I said, "You need to listen to me the first time." That's what I told I had to check him. You need to listen to your customer the first time. I don't want no upsell, but see the reason why he want to upsell because he get more money. No, you need to hustle. Don't act like I'm a mark. You see a mark coming. I don't like when people treat me that way. But that don't mean that gives me the right to put my hands on them. Do it. Uh-uh. I wanted to, but guess what? That involves jail time. So it's a decision. People make bad decisions. Carmelo didn't make a mistake. He made a bad decision. That's it. So I have to, give extreme examples like that. But in this case, what Jason Whitlock is saying is a little bit dangerous because we don't care. A lot of you in here listen to hip hop. You're not going to go out there and knife nobody. He said it's this black culture. What do you mean black culture? I know some people that don't even listen to hip hop. Let me see. I bet you some of you in here right now don't listen to hip hop. I bet you El Hombre Negro, um, he don't listen to hip hop. A lot of you don't listen to hip hop. You might listen to the old stuff. You don't listen to this new stuff because you don't care. Yeah, right. Of course you don't. You probably listen to um, let me see what you listen to. No, I ain't gonna say it because then you gonna get upset. I ain't gonna say. Yeah, it's getting ready to break down if they don't stop it. We seal TV. It is getting ready to break down. I'm not talking about all of us, but some of the people are pissed, and they're trying to build up to it. Eventually, if they don't get a hold of it, it will break down. It will. But a lot of people like our age and people that are smart, you're not going to break down. You don't care. The reason why you watched the Carmelo case is because you wanted to learn a little something about their law and you were interested in the case. Let's be real. Let's be real at the end of the day. You only interested in it because it's just something. It's on YouTube. It's an algorithm thing, right? But if you go right now in your algorithm, you probably research something else that you like. It's just something you were interested in. You just want to keep up with the latest tea. That's all it is. It's not a big deal to us. Um, we know that the jury decided in this case, correct? It wasn't the judge, it was the jury. And we don't knock the jury over here because we weren't privy to all the evidence. So we say, okay, the job well done to the jury. That's it. Unfortunately, guys, listen, man. I mean, all jokes aside, right? All jokes aside, I'm being real with you. And all jokes aside, you can't just knife somebody, bro. Not especially if the person didn't have a knife or something, um, or equal weapon in their hand or something. You can't get away with it. Now, another theory is the person that threw the stuff in the trash. He took something from the victim and threw it in the trash. But I don't believe that either because when Carmelo started running, that guy started running. Unless he dropped something. But that's the latest theory. But as far as Carmelo is concerned, he admitted to it, right? It's not a big deal now because he admitted to it. The only thing I thought was when the trial started, it's not a matter of him being guilty or not guilty or not. He's not, he's guilty. But guilty of what? That's all I wanted to know. What was he guilty of? That's it. Because he's already admitted to he remember he said it's not alleged. I know how this goes. It's not alleged. I did it. But after further investigation, like how did you do it? That's why he's on trial now. I mean, that's why he was on trial. Why did he do it? The jury had to figure out why he did it. It's not a question of he did it, are we gonna give him first degree? The jury pretty much believed the testimony saying that he reached in his bag and said, "Come close if you touch me if you want to." That makes it murder one. So they had to believe the stories of the people that was there. So that's it. I mean, it was that simple, right? It was that simple of a case. He already admitted to it, but okay, what did he do? It was a manslaughter. The state went with, the state, they go for the gusto and see what sticks, right? So the state put out murder one, right? And then later they came up with manslaughter. All right, we'll put manslaughter on the table just so that he could get convicted of something. Because we don't know if they're gonna convict him or not. And the jury actually took him up on their offer and went with murder one. And the strange part about it is they didn't even take long to deliberate. They didn't take long to deliberate at all. We should break down. You said, Max, what would be a breakdown in New York look like? Like, what do you mean as far as a self defense? It's very hard in New York to claim self defense. It's very hard. Their self defense laws is not like Texas. Put it that way. The best thing to say when the cops come, you were trying to fend him away from you. You said a society breakdown in New York on racial lines. Nah, that happened already in the 70s and 80s when we had the racial when we had racial divides. That happened already. Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. Try to go through Bensonhurst back in the day if you were black. Shoot. You better not take yourself walk through Bensonhurst. You'll get beat up. Let's see what else they saying.
According to Ladarian Brown, Longview police spokesperson. Each faces a charge of assault causing bodily injury. Both were booked into jail and released on $20,000 bonds, according to online jail records. Again, the victim is Sammy Lee, who describes herself as new to Longview, Texas. She posted on Facebook on June 21st that she was assaulted at Whiskey J's, a bar, by three, quote, random women who yelled, "Free Karmelo." Lee said she had not interacted with those women in any way before the assault. Let's see, and now, as I mentioned, the Longview police are in communication with the FBI, Jason, regarding the case. And why? Because online conversations concerning retaliation, division, and attacks are increasing. So there's a group of people. This is sort of the Jasmine Crockett street version, only actual street, not the fake street that Jasmine pretends she has in her background, who are looking to exact revenge on random white people, reportedly. I mean, they're going to have to check into this woman's story. We don't know for sure whether that's what they said, and we'll see what their defenses are. But if this is true, this is deeply disturbing. This woman's injuries are no joke either.
Listen, and I'm not trying to be provocative. And look, it is what it is. Black people have been convinced that we're victims of white supremacy. We're not victims of our own choices. We don't control our destiny through the music, through our education system, through everything the left has done, the identity politics and all that. You're a victim, and you have a right to be violent towards the people that you believe are your oppressors. And at some point, like America did before the Civil War, during the Civil War, during Jim Crow, America had a conversation with itself and said, hey, man, white people have a racism problem that has to be addressed head on. We now need to say black people have a racism problem, and they're practicing a form of religion that is destroying them and now looking to destroy the rest of America. We have to be that direct and that honest. I get why most people are afraid. Corporate America doesn't want you to say that, and it could put you out of a leadership position or get you targeted over social media. But if we don't have a real honest conversation about what's going on with the black church and how it's lost course and has gone into racial victimhood. And again, as a Christian, any of or those of us that just have Christian values within us, we don't believe in victimhood. America is the land of opportunity. It's not the land of oppression. People from around the world and people of all colors aren't trying to get into America because it's the land of oppression. It's the land of opportunity. And there's a documented history of white Christians fighting for the freedom of black people and black Americans and giving money to Africa and all this other stuff. White people are not perfect. They're just as flawed as everybody else. But this rap that they're like out to destroy black people and black Americans, it's a lie. And there's all kinds of
Mhm.
evidence that it's a lie. And white people, what they've done is said like, help you adopt this Christian culture and we're good. We don't care what color you are. That is the true
Mhm.
story of America. And black people seem to be saying uh you know, we don't share those values. Everything needs to be based on skin color. And we're going to be tribal based on skin color while being tribal like Africans over in Africa that war and destroy black people and white people. And so we get the worst of all of it. Black on black crime is out of control. Now black on white crime and just the smearing of America and white people, it's all out of control. What we're experiencing here is no different than what's going on in South Africa. White people are being targeted by black people out of racial animus, and everybody has to sit around and be quiet and pretend like it's not happening. I'm not going to pretend anymore, and we can't. I mean, we're taking it all the way back to the Carmelo Anthony case. A 17-year-old boy was stabbed in the heart for pushing a kid at a track meet. I, we pushed and shoved all the time when I was a kid. That's what kids do. They don't stab each other in the heart. And a guy has stabbed and killed a 17-year-old kid, and somehow he's being turned into the victim by politicians, mainstream television broadcasters, and pundits. This is insanity.
Thanks for watching this clip. If you're new here, subscribe. We got a whole lot more goodness where that came from. Would love to hear your feedback. You can email me too, Megan, MEGYN at megankelly.com, or just leave a comment below. But join the community by becoming a subscriber. We really, really value your input and your support. We may not always agree, but we are always going to talk about it and respect. No BS, no agenda, no fear. For the first time since World War II, our national debt has exceeded.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. I mean, the average person is not gonna crash out here. People got bills to pay, stuff like that. But I see what they're trying to do. It's not working. It's not gonna work, man. Not on the average person. It's not gonna work. People, I found out, man, that people really don't care about you that much to lose their freedom. They don't. The average person, sane mind, they don't care. I heard he was a D1 talent. He did have so much opportunity and potential. Oh, with a photo and mugshot of each member. Yeah, that was on the album before. I forget which one. Yeah, that's a classic photo with the Ghetto Boy members. I got to keep remembering he was part of the Ghetto Boys. He Willie D. He was on arguably one of my favorite records of all time. You know what I'm saying? This year Halloween falls on the weekend. The Ghetto Boys are trick or treating, robbing little kids for bags. Like, man, Bushwick Bill, man. That's a classic for me. But it's the rap. If you just listen to it, oh, it's a guy on Instagram. You guys might know him. He take rap lyrics and he turned it into improv, like improv acting, using their vocals. Anybody ever? I mean, using their words. Anybody ever see him? I mean, using their lyrics. He'll turn it into like a spoken word. It's hilarious. But the thing is, you listen to some of what they write, it's crazy. So was Carmelo a very talented free safety? Let's not villainize the boy. He made a mistake. Um, I don't know. Was he a safety? He looked like he could have. Nah, he don't look like he was small enough to be a safety. I would say he's like a DB or something, or a Sam. Yeah, I believe both the twins play football real good. I think they're both D1. I wonder if I wonder where he going to school at to play football. He played as a safety, specifically free safety. Okay, he's a safety. Okay. I mean, but on the college level, could he play safety on the college level at his size? Probably not. He would have to be like a DB. Carmelo Anthony. He ran track too. That's what they said. I don't know if he was running that day though. Anyway, you know how it go, man. I'll be back at some point. But yeah, I'll be back. It's a crazy case. I'm about to get on another crazy case involving Savannah Guthrie's mother. That case is crazy. So I will be back a little later. I'll catch you guys then. Thanks for joining. I promise we're gonna get on Nancy Guthrie because we got some more info. Matter of fact, I'll be back in a second. I just have to get something to drink. I'll be back in a second because they got some new information. TMZ, somebody reached out to TMZ again. They saying they know where the person is that did this to Nancy Guthrie. So I'm gonna talk about that. Anyway, guys, always something. Always something, man. Another email, Gigi. Another freaking email. I'm gonna come back, guys. Give me a second, because guys, y'all ain't gonna believe this one. Y'all ain't gonna believe. Guess what they're requesting for now? A Bitcoin. They're requesting for 1 Bitcoin. And they say they know who did it. And so I'm gonna come back in quite a few minutes. Oh, by the way, if you want to get on my contact list on YouTube, send me an Instagram link. I mean, excuse me, no. Send me an Instagram message and I'll send you a link so that you can email me. I mean, you can message me on YouTube and I'll send you the video, the link when I go live so you won't miss a live. So if you want to do that, just go to my Instagram. And you'll find me there. And I'll send you the link to so you can message me on there because it's something you got like a video idea or you want to dispute something, we can have a discussion or we can have a debate. I don't know if it's really a debate because I don't mind you speaking your opinion on it. I don't think that's a debate, but I do have differences of opinion with some people in regarding the method he used to fight back. You know what I'm saying? So that part. So but we'll see. We'll be back, but I'm going on to Nancy Guthrie because it's ridiculous at this point. I mean, somebody tell us where the remains are, man. At this point, no, I didn't quit. This actually, you know what I'm gonna do, Ryan? You just gave me a idea. I'm gonna give you guys the link on Discord as well. Um, as a matter of fact, let me give y'all my Discord link. Thank you, Ryan. That'll be easier. Hold on. All right. Let me see. That actually would be better. I was just thinking about that, I guess. Um, wait a minute. Am I on there now? Let's see. Let's see. Where are we? Um, no, that's messages. Here we go. General. No, that's voice chat. Um, hmm. I'm trying to find Raymond. Oh, there you go. I see Raymond right there. Let me see. You sent something back on the why I'm having so much difficulty with this thing, with this server. I'm supposed to just be able to. No, wait a minute. Max speed digital. Nope, that's not what I wanted to give you. Nope. Man, where is it? Big one. Open AI. I think it's this one. General. Okay. Share invite. Yeah, I'll give you guys this one. It's because I would have to send you the link. Um, but when y'all send it to you on Discord, when y'all then get in there, then you can message me on YouTube. Then you can stay in the loop because I'll send you guys messages when I go live, and you automatically get it on your phone. That case is weird, guys. Nancy Guthrie missing. That case is weird. I can't put my finger on it, but at this point, I don't know what to believe. You know what I mean? Like now, another person sent a note saying they will give them the coordinates to their cell phone number because the cell phone number is it has a video of her on there on the last day she was alive. It's kind of sad, but what if it's true though? I don't know. But why do you always go to TMZ though? Interesting. But anyway, I'll be back with that one. I will catch you guys later. All right, y'all.